Since the dawn of time, we've been speaking to young people about how smoking, drinking and drug use affects their lives. Every year, we talk to thousands of pupils aged 11 to 15 in secondary schools across England. We ask them questions about what they think and do. Everything we ask is completely confidential, so they can be honest in telling us what really happens in their lives. We collect this information to make sure that the government, charities and health professionals make the right decisions about how to help young people. It also shows how things are changing over the years. So, why is this topic so relevant to young people in this age group? Well, as our research shows, in a class of 30 Year 7 students, just one person will have tried smoking. But by the time they reach Year 11, 13 people, nearly half the class, will have tried a cigarette. It's the stage in their lives when young people take up smoking, a decision that can affect the rest of their lives. Our data shows that when it comes to smoking, things really are changing. Back in 2001, 1 in 10 young people smoked at least once a week. Flash forward to now, and that has fallen to just 1 in 30. Now, we've all heard about peer pressure, but when it comes to smoking, it's the people you live with who make the real difference. 16% of young people who live with 3 or more smokers are regular smokers themselves, compared with just 2% of those who live in a non-smoking home. So what about drinking alcohol? Are young people knocking it back or knocking it on the head? Just like smoking, fewer young people are trying drinking than 10 years ago. In 2003, out of a group of 30 pupils aged 11 to 15, 18 would have tried an alcoholic drink. This has now fallen to 12. But who are young people drinking with? When young people are in Year 7, 77% of those who drink do so with their parents. Just 22% drink with their friends. But by the time young people reach Year 11, 85% of those who drink do so with their friends. When it comes to picking their drinks, boys will be boys and girls will be a little more adventurous. 2/3 of the alcohol drunk by boys was beer or cider. Girls, on the other hand, preferred a bit more variety, an even split between beer and cider, wine, spirits and alcopops. And finally, how does drug use fit into the picture? Out of a group of 30 pupils aged 11 to 15, 5 will have tried drugs at least once. We ask about everything from sniffing glue and smoking marijuana to ecstasy and cocaine. Over a quarter of pupils said they'd been offered drugs at least once. But what do young people really think about all this? Just 9% thought it was alright to try cannabis. Less than a third thought it was okay to try a cigarette. On the other hand, young people thought drinking alcohol was more acceptable. Over half thought it was okay for someone their age to try a drink. Young people may have different views about what is acceptable, but smoking, drinking and drugs often go together. Out of the pupils we spoke to who said they'd smoked in the last week, 2/3 had also either drunk alcohol or taken drugs recently. Thanks again to the pupils and schools who took part. We couldn't do it without you. We're working hard to provide the people who make the big decisions with up-to-date info about the real lives of young people.